Okay, when we talk about least common multiples, we're talking about two numbers that are not the same and finding where they have a common multiple. Remember, multiples are always equal to or greater than. So the multiples of 16 are 16, and we go 6 plus 6 is 2. That's 12 carried to 1. 1 plus 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3. So 16 plus 16 is 32. 6 plus 2 is 8. And 1 plus 3 is 48. 6 plus 8 is 14, carried my 1. That's 2 plus 4, that's 6. And you see how skip counting works, okay? With 24, 4 plus 4 is 8. 2 plus 2 is 4. You'll find out that the least common multiple between 24 and 48 is 24 and 16 is 48. Now, the reason why we care about least common multiples is not so we can sit around and just do random numbers. When we have fractions that do not have the same denominator, then we need to find something that is common. Okay, so here in our example we have two fractions. They're unlike fractions because the denominators are different. And so the song says adding fractions that you see match the bottoms perfectly. But we don't have perfectly matching bottoms. Now, there's a few ways we can approach this. We can skip count with 16 and 5. And let me go ahead and do that over here, 16 and 5. So I'm going to start off with 16. And I got 16, 32, 48. 6 plus 8 is 14, carry my 1. Excuse me, 6. 6 plus 8 is 48, carry my, 6 plus 8 is 14, carry my 1. That's 2, 6. And then I get 16. 6 plus 4 is 0, carry my 1. That's 2, that's 8. Well, that ends in a 0. My divisibility rule says a number that ends in 0 or 5 is divisible by 5. So let's see how many times. We got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, and 80. Okay, so I found out my common denominator is going to be 80. The reality is I could have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I could have done 5 times 16 is 80. And then I could say 5 times 7 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I could skip count and find the common denominator. I could have multiplied and then multiplied to find the common denominator. Or I can use my ugly 1, which would have been 5 and 5. And that's my ugly 1 because 5 divided by 5 is 1. And this renames the fraction as 35 over 80. Bring down my plus sign. I already know my denominator has to be 80 because the fractions have to have a common, multiple common denominator. So I do 16 times 5 to get 80. I can do 16 times 3. Well, 16 times 3, let's do it over here. 1, 2, 3, that's 48. The value of skip counting is I already have it here. 1, 2, 3. 16, 1, 2, 3 times 3 is 48. Now, my denominators match. The song says adding fractions that you see match the bottoms perfectly. So I bring over my add-ins, have a denominator of 80. So my sum is going to have a denominator of 80. I add 35 plus 48. And I get 8 plus 5 is 13, carried in 1. I get 83. And of course, I can simplify this to 83 divided by 80. And I get 1. And what I do here is I take my quotient. That becomes my whole number. My remainder becomes my numerator. My divisor becomes my dividend. And my answer is 1 and 3 over 80. 83 over 80 or 1 and 3 over 80. You finished?